Hello class, this is a video tutorial on Z-table variations. In the previous Z-table video, it showed percentages to the left of a Z-score for only positive Z-scores. So we worked with this table before. So any number that you find here, so let's say 4.3, this percentage is everything to the left of 0.43. But now we're going to be working with variations of these tables. So other tables may be given, and we have to be able to work with these different variations. I'm going to show two different types of tables here. So here's one where it will show, it's graphed here, it shows the percentage from 0 to whatever Z it is for only positive Z scores. And in another video, we're going to be looking at a table that shows negative Z scores only. So you can also see I've simplified the Z scores that we're working with. In this instance, we are going to only be working with 1 decimal place values of Z scores. So let's go straight into our examples here. And here we go. In a group of 1,000 competitors, their results are normally distributed on a mean of 60 and a standard deviation of 10. Calculate the number of competitors that scored below this number here. As before, we're going to go straight into the Z equivalent of this. So Z is below, we now need to convert this as a Z score. So it was 72 minus the mean over 10. That gives us 1.2. So the Z score is less than 1.2. Graphically, we are looking for everything from 1.2, so about here, and everything below this. Now, you can pause because we're going to find the Z score for all of them, so you can go ahead and do that. I'll give you a moment, you can pause and do this. Okay, so these are the results. And now let's go straight into using table 1 to calculate these percentages. So only working with table 1 for now. So below 72, which is a Z score of 1.2, using our table here, notice how these, if you compare as well, these numbers are far less than the previous table shown. So for now, we're going to go 1.2. But now be mindful as to what this is showing. This is showing from only 0 to whatever Z score that we want. But this is asking for everything from the Z score and everything below. So this 1.2 is only this component. But since we want everything from the Z score below, we actually have to now add on 50% to this. So this is going to be what we find in this table, table 1, 1.2, which is 38%. So 0.38493. And to this, we're going to add 50%, which is 88. So this percentage is going to be 88.493%. And that's essentially it for this table. And now obviously we're going to take that number, 88.493%, and multiply that by that 1,000 here. So calculating that, 88.493% times 1,000 gets us 884.9, which I'm going to round up to 885. Okay, so let's do this next one. Z score for everything below 0.8. So using table 1, sorry, table 1. So we're looking at 0.8 this time. So 0.8. This gives us 28.814%. But remember, this table 1, and for any table that you might be given, this table only gives us from the z-score to halfway. But we want 0.8, which is here, and everything below. Now this table is only giving us everything here in purple. So this percentage here is in purple. So to find the orange, we just add on 50%. So I'm just going to use a physical calculator here. It's a lot faster. Adding on 50%, you should be getting now, in orange here, 78.814%. So the easy part here, timesing by the 1,000 students or 1,000 competitors, that gives us 788 competitors below a mark of 68. Okay, so let's keep going now. Z-score of 2, so everything below that. So going to Z-score of 2.0, shows there 47.725%. But again, remember, this is only calculating everything from that z-score to halfway. So to this, we need to add 50%. So that's a rather simple calculation here. So z-score of 2, everything below that. Adding 50% to this should give us 97.725%. And so do that calculation, 97.725% times 1,000. That gives us 977 competitors in that range. So this is all for positive z-scores. Let's move on to the next 3 questions here, next 3 examples for negative z-scores of 0.5, negative 1.3, and negative 1.2. Now, here's where it gets a little trickier. Okay, but it still actually applies the same concepts. So we are looking for negative 0.5. So everything from here below. Now consider that this table, again, only shows positive z-scores. So we're going to have to work with this positive 0.5. Okay, so now let's think about what this is calculating. So let's do this in purple. Positive 0.5 is from here up until halfway. But because of the symmetry, so that's only up to here. But what we really want is everything from here to the left. But remember, from this point to the left is equivalent to the same positive value to the right. So this, if we find the probability of z above positive 0.5, this will give us the same as the orange that we're looking for. Well, since this is from everything below, to find that bit above, we can find that just by taking 50% minus this number here. So I'll demonstrate that here. 50% minus 19.146. Okay, so I'll really show this graphically. So this bit in purple is 0.1946. But this portion in green is equivalent to this portion in orange. But since the green and the purple add up to 50, if we now do, as I've shown here, 50% minus this purple, that gets us this bit here in green, which is 0.30854, which is equivalent to 30.854%. So this orange bit is 30.854%. And the easy part now is just taking this number and multiplying by 1,000. 0. What times is 1,000? We can do that. Whoop. That gets us 308.5, so 309. All right, so let's keep going here. So Z scores below negative 1.3. Now, remember, this table doesn't show anything with negative Z scores, so we're going to have to work with 1.3. But just as before, this number here is from the Z score up until halfway. But we're not looking for this portion, we're looking for this portion here. But that portion I'm showing here is equivalent to the positive right-hand side. So again, since we're looking for negative 1.3 here, negative 1.3, that is equivalent to positive 1.3, which can be found as 50%, so 50%, all of this, minus this portion in purple. Now, that's exactly what this table is showing. That purple portion, 1.3 is here. So 50% minus this gets us this green portion, which is equivalent to this orange one. So let's calculate that. So 50%, 0.5 minus 1.3 was 0.40320. That gets us 9.68%. So that, remember what we just did here? That orange bit was 9.68%. And we got that as 50% minus that 40.32%. So that green portion is the same as this one here. So now 9.68% times 1,000 times 1,000 gets us 96 or 97 people here. So 97 students, or 97 competitors, sorry. Let's do another example. Last one for this video. So less than negative 2.2. So negative 2.2 is everything to the left of this. But remember, as we've seen from the previous one, the symmetry of the normal distribution, it's equivalent if we find this portion. Now, for this table, we can only find positive Z scores up until the middle. So positive Z scores to the middle is from this Z score up until 50%. So in purple, we can find here as 2.2. 2.2 in purple. This portion is 48.61%. But remember, we can take halfway to the right, and if we subtract that purple portion, we are left with this green bit, which is equivalent to this orange bit. So 50 minus 48.61. The portion we're working with now in green is 1.39%, which is the same as this portion here. So 1.39% times 1,000 people. So 1.39%. That gives us 13.9, which is 14 competitors. Okay, so I hope that's given you insight into calculating everything below a positive or negative z-score using this different type of z-score being shown, or z-table shown here. Hope to see you in the next video where we find z-scores above using table number 1. Hope to see you then, and best of luck.